Cash Crew, what up, what up? It's your boy Kinsman here for another episode. Glad you guys came to join us. Before we get started, you know how we set this thing off. How you feeling, Vlad?
I'm good. Welcome back to another week's episode here with Sports Cash and the Sports Cash Crew, where we talk everything sports and the business behind it. We have a jam-packed episode this week. We're going to be talking about conference finals of the NBA playoffs. But before we get started, we got some headlines to cover. First headline we got this week is J. Kidd. J. Kidd is leaving the Los Angeles Lakers as assistant coach and becoming the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. I think this is a good move for Dallas, especially they got that superb superstar there and Luka the Don. I think J. Kidd definitely going to help, Luka's game go to the next level. Definitely, they both are facilitators, and they both got a good feel for the game. I definitely like that move for Dallas.
Definitely.
Jig in the house. My bad. You got to make sure y'all know Jig in the house too. What up?
Yo.
Second headline we got this week: Sha'Carri Richardson. She was caught. One mistake away from competing in this year's Olympics. Unfortunately, if you guys haven't known, Sha'Carri Richardson has gotten tested for the use of marijuana. THC. So, unfortunately, they disqualified her for this year's Olympics, unfortunately.
They suspended her for 30 days.
Yeah, she's still running, though.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's confirmed she is still going to run?
She can't run.
The 100.
Yes.
Oh, she can't run. Okay, so
she's going to be in the relay.
She's going to relay. Okay, so she is going to be able to participate, just not in the 100. But
we wanted to see her do.
Exactly, the main event.
Right.
But I don't know. I think the committee is going to have to look back on this. As you can see, the NFL and the NBA has loosened their restrictions just a little bit with this, and we're not going to get too much into the policy, but there's a two-sided to this. Most people feel like,
it's conflicted.
It's conflicted, yeah. Some people feel like you should, respect the rules. Some people say, hey, it's not that bad as some other things that people do, but that's neither here or there. We just hope, she gets back on good terms and we get to see her dominate in her respective sport. Last but not least, this summer we got basketball once again with Team USA, and Team USA finally put out their final 12-man roster, which is kind of interesting. A lot of young guys, and with a sprinkle a couple vets. We got Bam Adebayo, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Jeremy Grant, Draymond Green, Drew Holiday, Zach LaVine, Damian Lillard, Kevin Love, Chris Middleton, and Jason Tatum.
Okay,
it's a good little squad.
Team USA going gold?
They could have went gold with the team rookie class.
Chill out.
Listen, I'm
overseas basketball is much better than you think.
I'm not disrespecting them. I'm saying I believe that with the right coach and most of those rookies, we probably could still get gold. We're just definitely getting gold now.
I hope so.
I think the two that topped it off was KD and
Bradley?
Nah, Dame.
Oh yeah,
they got some hitters up there. Tatum.
Yeah, that Tatum was huge for me.
Yeah, that's when
scary.
that lineup is on the floor. It's gonna be hell.
And then they might, for the fun of it, throw Draymond on that little lineup.
But the only thing I don't like about this,
what?
It's not a lot of size, a lot of wings.
Yeah.
But not a lot.
But they
size.
think they can play diverse and small ball, and they're gonna be able to attack more mismatches on offense, and they're gonna probably sacrifice a little bit of defense.
Yeah, it's gonna be
because
when you play against teams like Spain, who got 7-footers.
But are those guys gonna be able to hang with the scoring that Bradley Beal, Dame, and Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum are bringing to the table?
But if you slow down the game, we all know that changes. You can't get up and down when the game is slowed down.
None of those guys need up and down game. Kevin Durant does not need to be going up and down. Kevin Durant can methodically destroy you.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Dame
on one leg.
Dame shooting from half.
Right.
He don't need up. He said, "Oh, you gonna drop down and prepare to play defense? The ball over your head, play
not even close."
It's crazy.
So that's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great experience for those young guys. Which is, I wish they would have allowed more young guys. I don't really think you need a guy like Kevin Love in this position right now. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Kevin Love. I appreciate it.
I know why they put him in. I mean, he's a vet. He won gold with the 2012 team.
Yeah.
So
it's cool, but I just don't
him
think.
and KD is, kind of those vets. That's
real quick, do they not, if like you would know this, but do they not bring the college kid anymore?
No,
they
stopped.
stopped. Yeah.
I don't like it.
I like it.
I think the college kid needs that experience.
AD was the last year they did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Why?
one, the college kid barely plays. That's one. And then two, how you get a gold medal and you didn't even play one NBA game yet? Versus guys.
I think that's fine.
No, it's not. Versus
Didn't
guys.
Christian later win?
Versus guys that's very much qualified to be on the team,
Right.
and that didn't make the roster, and then you let a rookie who just got drafted.
Tradition.
Fuck tradition.
No, I think it matters. This is why I think it matters, right? I think you give that college kid an opportunity to go be around professionals, right?
Yeah, summer league.
And learn. How many rookies are hanging around professionals during summer league?
Hey, that's up to
Exactly.
your
So
schedule. No, that's up to
you get one chance. They make a special 13th spot for that college kid, right? They're not taking a spot away from nobody because they're number 13.
Right.
They might not get to play, but they get to be around professionals and learn how to be a professional before they actually have to sit in the NBA. And I think that's invaluable experience that a lot of these young guys need. Because AD got to sit with the guy who's now his teammate, LeBron, for a whole Olympic summer.
Right.
He was going to practice with these guys. He was getting seeds sprinkled the whole time. And we look at AD now, and we think he's a top 10 player at the very least.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it hurts the game to give guys an experience like that, even if they don't play. Because especially if they don't play, why not bring a college kid and be like, hey, you see the work KD putting in before these games. You see the work LeBron putting in
But
before
then,
these games.
who do you pick this year then? The number one pick? We don't know who that is yet.
They usually get a consensus. They figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I would be okay with any of those kids going into that position. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's the number one pick, because when's the draft? Isn't the draft this Thursday? The NBA draft?
That's a good question. No, the draft is after the finals.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, the number one pick it is. Or one of those top three touted picks, because we already know who's going 5.
Yeah, we probably don't know the order, but we kind of have an idea.
So pick one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
If it was my pick, I'm Jalen Green. You can get that 13th slot.
and I would love to see that. I think any of those young guys. I just think it benefits them, and they get to go to their team with a little bit more. Because all rip, they're going to a bad team. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not help these guys?
Let me let you see what a win feels like.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because
You
for
know
the
what I'm
next
saying?
6-7 years.
I think that's why it matters so much, because they're going to a bad team more than
But
likely.
I agree. I like how you put that there.
That's a fact. But let's go ahead and move on to the bulk of our episode.
Let's go.
We're going to touch base on conference finals, round 3 of the NBA playoffs. It's officially done. The last 4 teams standing has now become the last 2. But before we go on to that, let's just recap on the round 3 matchups. We can go ahead and start with me and you, Ken's, our team, the Atlanta Hawks.
I'd like to take the Band-Aid off as quickly as possible, so let's go ahead and discuss. I'm gonna say this, and I don't know what bearing this has on anything at the moment, but I despise sports fans / Hawks fans / temporary Hawks fans who go on about Atlanta being Atlanta. We've never seen an Atlanta basketball team do this in Atlanta.
That's a fact.
All right, these guys are 23 and younger, and they gave us one of the most miraculous rides we've seen from a young team in a long time. Very, very reminiscent of that young Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier team that got to the Eastern Conference Finals without Kyrie Irving. And when guys are young, there's things that they don't have that is harder to get over the hump when you're that young. These guys are third. John Collins was in his 4th year. Trae Young in his 3rd. Kevin Huerter in his 3rd. DeAndre Hunter, who was out since the Knicks series, in his 2nd. Cam Reddish, who hasn't played since.
2nd.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of youth in that core. And they was playing the 6th round pick who didn't have an off season on Yeka. I mean, not 6th round pick, but the number 6 pick on Yeka Okongwu. And he was giving us pretty decent minutes.
He was.
He was balling.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
What he
And
was-
he was hurt at the beginning of the
He
season.
knew the assignment.
You know what I'm saying? Like he came and did what he had to do. The vets tried to step up, but we had vets that fit the pieces. And Lou Williams can't win you a series. He can win you a game, but he can't win you a series.
I agree.
Kudos to the veteran strengths of the Milwaukee Bucks. Brooke Lopez showed up.
Chris Middleton showed up.
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday
Showed up.
Big
That team
time. Yeah.
showed up. And then that mother crazy eyes Bobby Portis. This mother, he showed up, and I hate that guy. Damn, I wish he was still on the Knicks. I can't stand it.
Hey man, that's 2 series ago. We're not bringing them up.
I just wish he was still in New York because that dude was giving us problems, bro. Like
It's the eyes.
John Collins did not know what to do with that man. And yo, the Bucks really came out, and both teams lost their superstar.
Yes, which got very interesting very quick.
Because I think the first game with them both out, Atlanta took that one.
Yep.
In game 4.
4-4.
Yeah, they took that game in Atlanta. It was crazy. And then the game 5,
that's when we lost in Milwaukee.
we lost in Milwaukee.
And then game 6 we lost at home.
We lost at home, and it was a strong series for the young guys. It was a strong series for the winners. It made me appreciate basketball a lot more just to see, even though I'm a Hawks fan and the Hawks lost, seeing the Bucks get to that place that, regardless of the injuries throughout the playoffs, they made it to the finals. And people have been doubting Giannis, and I doubt Giannis because he doesn't have a lot of skill.
I'm still doubting him.
And I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with doubting him. I just, even with the doubts, his team, which I always say that the team is bigger than the superstar, unless you're on a LeBron James team, because it sucks for y'all. Y'all better figure it out. Right. But the team was good enough, you know what I'm saying? And because of Giannis's play, for me, it looks like the team has been great, and in a lot of weird places held back because of Giannis.
I was just about to say that. I was like, I think they play better without Giannis, in my opinion.
Which to me means Giannis, as good as he is, needs to figure out more how he needs to fit
into the system.
Versus
that's going to be his assignment for
learning
this season.
Well, I mean, he could be who he is if he had skill. The fact that he doesn't have skill is what's holding him back. He has a lot of tenacity. He plays like a 6-man who you wish would start.
Oh man.
That's literally what he is, because it's like
not good for a 2-time MVP.
It's not, but because he's almost 7 feet tall, because he's so strong, he's fast, he's athletic, he got a ridiculous Euro. He has all these pieces of him who he is. That's so great, but it's like, damn, you still ain't really talented, my boy. Damn,
this ain't it.
But you know what? The Bucks organization is a real life example of you got to see it through, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and they did. They in the final.
They
Congratulations.
by the skin of their teeth, they got by.
Congratulations.
I was gonna say, if they didn't make it this year, that window would have been closed. That window would definitely been closed.
See, you know why I don't like that? Is because there are people who think that they know basketball who said the Hawks didn't make it this year. The window's closed for them.
They're crazy.
But see, I feel like closing windows is unrealistic to me, because especially when you're talking about guys in their mid-20s.
Not even in their mid-20s.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if Giannis was 34, I'd be like, hey, that window, goddamn. Somebody put some tape on that. That dang closed, boy.
I'm saying Milwaukee. Not saying Giannis, because Giannis can leave Milwaukee. I'm saying with this team that they have, this little era run they're going through, that's what I mean. That window's closed.
And see, I feel
now,
like
if they move pieces around or Giannis go to another team, then that's a whole different window. But for this core, for the past 3-4 years,
who's the core, real quick?
We're talking about Brook Lopez, Giannis, and Chris Middleton for the most part. I mean, obviously they added new pieces with PJ Tucker and Drew Holiday this year,
and Bobby Portis, so crazy out of
and Bobby Portis. But the main core, that they've been on that run for about 3-4 years. That window is this year. That's it. If it don't, luckily they beat the hump of getting off their back of getting out the Eastern Conference, which.
But see, and then this is why I was saying I don't agree, is because this Drew, right? We I think we would honestly be like, their big three is Holiday, Middleton, Giannis.
Yeah, it is now, but Holiday just got there this year. I'm talking about
that's what I'm saying. Because Holiday just got there this year, I don't think the window will be closed just this year, because they got 3 huge pieces that really change the dynamic of the team. PJ Tucker, Crazy Eyes, Bobby Portis, and Drew Holiday. You know what I'm saying? And are we going to just give them 1 year before we start deciding to close the door on that team when they got PJ in the middle of the season?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like you'd have to give that team at least 2 years, because we realistically, how many times have we seen a team get put together in 1 year and win a championship?
Once.
In our modern era, in the last 25 years of basketball,
that was the Boston Celtics.
That was the Boston Celtics. So in reality, it takes teams a while to win. And a lot of times when teams start winning, they keep winning.
But my thing is, okay, before we move on from that, do you honestly feel like Milwaukee's still elevating?
I don't think Milwaukee has to elevate
Hold on.
at this point.
And this is why I say this is why the window's getting closed.
But they could elevate. They could upgrade their
but
point
are
guard
they?
position.
Are they? Do you honestly feel that Milwaukee's elevating or they will elevate next year?
I think if Milwaukee would have lost the series, they would have fired Coach Bud and they would have elevated. They would have got a better coach.
Okay, so from the looks of it, he's still that coach. So that means
I mean, they're gonna lose in the finals, and he's probably gonna get fired.
okay. So that means you don't feel-
Elevation is likely,
but not guaranteed, right?
Nothing is guaranteed. It's the NBA.
Yeah, but other teams
at
you
the
can see,
beginning
like,
of the
you can
season,
see
the Nets were
Phoenix-
guaranteed to go to the finals. And where they ass at?
Well, they had injuries, but what
That
I'm saying
happens
is,
to everybody.
But what I'm saying is, you could see certain teams. Okay, they're elevating. Like Denver, they're elevating every year. Atlanta, they're elevating every year.
I think Denver stayed the same. They didn't elevate at all.
No, did you not see Michael Porter Jr. play? If Jamal Murray,
Michael Porter Jr. played, and all he did was replace the kid that went to Detroit.
Jeremy Grant, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Michael
that's all
Porter
he did.
Jr. job and Jeremy Grant's job was two different jobs for Denver.
But what I'm saying is what they brought to the team, right? The
Jeremy Grant brought
scoring and defense.
rebounding. No, not scoring.
He was scoring off the bench. He averaged
He
16.
was scoring, but the way he scored, Michael Porter gave you scoring on the perimeter. Jeremy Grant gave you a lot of scoring from and ones and putbacks.
And again, I still think that was their biggest problem, not re-signing Jeremy Grant. Because you look at Jeremy Grant went to work this summer.
Think about it though.
Last summer, my bad. He went to work last summer, and he looked like he could have been an all-star in Detroit.
He could, but when
And they threw him away for what, $3 million?
When the money calls, you go.
They could have signed him. They chose not to.
But now they looking and say, "Hey, we got a future star in Michael Porter Jr."
They was gonna keep him regardless. He on a rookie contract.
I understand that, but sometimes some teams rather let a certain player to go so they can elevate another player to a higher status.
And because of that, they were in the same place they were last year.
Yeah, because Jamal Murray tore his ACL. We'll see next year. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll see next year when Jamal Murray gets healthy.
Next year is not going to count as much because they're going to be 2 years removed from when they made the decision.
Sometimes that's what it takes to finally see the repercussions of your decisions.
I think if
KD's seeing it now. KD's about to go into his second year leading Golden State. Still haven't won nothing yet.
but there was injuries.
It's part of the game.
You see how crazy that is? Because you just used the injuries as an excuse, and now I don't understand how people do that. But I'm with it. I'm with it.
We'll see. But for sure, I gotta say I'm proud of my Hawks.
Very.
I know many episodes ago I picked them as my dark horse, but I didn't see them competing this far and at this level. I'm more than excited to see what's going to happen next year. Man, I'm going to say this one more time on air, and if you guys don't believe me, you're going to believe me later. A healthy Cam Reddish is going to put the league notice next year. Matter of fact, he's going to be one of my contestants for most improved next year.
I'm going to laugh because I'm going to be like, man, he been doing this the whole time, guys. He was just hurt.
Cam Reddish is going to elevate the Hawks.
Jamal Crawford tweeted that last night. He said Cam Reddish will be a superstar in this league.
He can be.
I think he will be. And that core, I hope Atlanta
finds a way to keep it.
Defines John Collins, Trae Young, and DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, keep them four together.
Kevin Huerter, man, you better throw my boy Kayvon in that guy.
Kayvon.
Don't sleep on Kayvon, man.
We'll see when the contract.
Kayvon was the most productive, consistent player for the Hawks. He was the most consistent for the entire season. We looking at guys who Trae had a hideous slump for like 3 weeks at the beginning of the season. Kayvon might have had a bad game here and there.
Red Velvet.
That boy smooth and he was probably our best defender for the entire year. Except for the last 2 games because that boy Cam Reddish came and said, y'all must have forgot.
7'6".
7'6".
That boy got
he different.
He got some length on him.
The Eastern Conference Finals was fun to watch and it was painful. And I love that about sports. I love that about competition. You know what I'm saying? You can root for somebody and they don't when it hurts. I'm waiting for that faithful moment though when my Atlanta teams
bring us the chip.
I still ride the coattails of the Atlanta United, and I don't know nobody who was on that team, but it's a championship for the city.
Here's what I'll say:
Martinez.
They definitely progressed faster in the time frame that I gave them. I gave them 5 years. This is year 1. We already went 6 games in Eastern Conference Finals.
Is it 5 years? You were saying 5 years from.
I gave it a 5 year span. I said in 5 years.
Like you
I
said
said in the beginning, before the season started, I said starting this year, I give the Hawks a 5 year span to make the finals. This is year one that we just complete. We're in the Eastern Conference Finals and we went 6 games.
Man,
we'll see the
2
finals.
games away.
We'll see the finals in the next couple years.
Look, shout out to the Hawks, man. Y'all beat my Knicks.
And we beat them Philly boys.
Yeah, y'all beat Philly. Y'all got a bunch of dogs on y'all team, man. I love it.
The way they ended the
That
game,
City.
the way they ended the game was they were down 20.
20. Didn't
And
give
I was
up.
like,
Didn't nobody blink.
that's the only thing I hate about the Hawks. It's like when we're in dire need, man, we play some amazing defense, amazing basketball.
That's youth.
But when the game is back and forth, you know, it's a
Right.
2.4 to 6 point spread, we want to be lackadaisical. I'm like, no, put your foot
I don't
on
ever
their
think
neck.
it's lackadaisical though. I think that's what happens when you play good teams.
No.
We could
We could have played better.
This
And
is
that's why we
another
lost game
example.
3.
This is an example of how Golden State poisoned us on what basketball looks like. Because when you go back to the 90s and you watch those series, Jordan wasn't waxing nobody.
Nope.
He was beating good teams, and it was game winners. It was the last 35 seconds of a game where he had to be clutch and he had to, make the pass, make the shot. That's what happens when good teams face each other. You don't see 15, 10-point blowouts. You see teams fight to the very end and somebody grabs the brass in that last 30 seconds of that last minute.
Right.
That's what happens with good teams.
Right.
And we should see that and be like, damn,
That was a good game.
the NBA is gaining more parity.
Right.
More teams are playing well in the NBA. Because we beat the 76ers. We didn't beat them in any game by more than 6 points, I think it was.
Correct.
A few of them were like 3. I know 3.
You know what I'm saying? Like every
a lot of the
game,
games we won the last 2.
hard fought battles. And that's supposed to be the joy. I don't want to go to the playoffs and watch the Warriors beat Portland by 15 in 5 games.
That's fact.
That's not.
Yeah,
that's not. I'm supposed to believe that the other team, whether it be the Trailblazers or whether it be the Nuggets, whoever it is a good playoff team, and they're fighting. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather watch a series that went to 5 and every game was won by 3-4 points than watch a series that was a sweep and they won every game by 15. Like, where's the competition in that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But let's take that to the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, of course.
And your boy Chris Paul
The point guard.
finally
My favorite point guard of all time.
finally made it out of the Western Conference Finals, and he is going to the
going to
NBA
the
Finals.
man.
Salute.
Devin Booker.
My favorite young star in the man. Woo, this finals about to be good, man. I was happy regardless because I really want the Hawks versus the Suns in the finals.
Which
But
would've
I
been
said regardless. I said
beautiful.
as long as one of them make it, I'm happy because I wanted the Hawks because they're my team, but I also wanted the Suns because Chris Paul is my favorite point guard of all time.
And Devin Booker is your
I'm
boy.
a big Chris Paul fan, and Devin Booker is my favorite young player in the league right now, and I've been raving about Devin Booker all basketball season. Really.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for them. And Devin Booker, I'll tell y'all this. If he tops this off, this is going to be one of the best first playoff debut runs in history.
Oh, yeah.
Not easy.
Trae Young going to be second after him, though.
We might have to go back because, Magic won one as a rookie, too.
Oh, yeah. Yo, Magic's run was absurd.
So that's what I said. But it's not.
we
have to look back, but it's definitely be one of the top ones.
As a first playoff run. Whew.
Man. But that series is not Devin Booker. I gotta give it to the surrounding cast.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton.
Hey,
His stock
number
has
1 pick
rose.
2018. Talk to them, my boy.
He's a max player now.
I don't know about all that.
No. He's
I
a
ain't
max
comfortable with that.
player now.
I feel like when there's this one specific hole in your game is dependent on the guards around you. I don't comfortably feel like giving out that max label.
What do you not like about his game? He can't create his own shot?
I don't think
Because let me remind
you can put him in the post and tell him to get you a bucket.
Let me remind you. Do you know what DeAndre Ayton numbers was before Chris Paul?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what his numbers are after?
I know. I listen. I follow all of the top 5 players.
He
from the
didn't fall
2018
off a
draft.
cliff now.
He didn't fall off. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is his numbers got the same thing with John Collins, right? John Collins' numbers got better when Trae Young got there because Trae Young was like, "Oh, you're athletic, you can jump. I'm gonna give you an extra 6 buckets at the rim every night. Your point total is gonna go from 8 points a night to 20 because you're getting 6 lobs a night." And when you just look at the raw numbers, he's averaging 20 and 10. He's a good player. But you take away Trae Young, he's an okay player because he can't do so much without somebody feeding him in a type of way. DeAndre Ayton, I don't think you could pay somebody a whole lot of money.
He's gonna get paid, bro.
He's gonna get paid. I just don't think the max is what they should be looking at. No. He should get paid a lot of money because he's young and he's a great big, and he's probably gonna get better.
Man, I say this: if he goes see Hakeem this offseason,
man, send everybody to Hakeem.
Boy,
man,
if DeAndre Ayton see Hakeem this offseason, I feel sorry for the league.
Yeah, that'll be.
I feel sorry.
He might need 2 summers with him, but
no, the one solid good 8 weeks.
Man, listen.
8 weeks, just
because if he get a little the footwork.
Oh my god,
that's the main thing.
Because you can tell he already got that 15 to 12 jumper knocked down. Yeah. He's handling. Yeah. If he can get the little,
he got the size,
shake,
he got the strength.
Man,
if he just needs.
He already
some
got
moves.
the defense.
Yeah,
and he definitely got them lobs. Yeah. But the biggest question I think we got to ask is: I know one of the players was injured, but is it time?
Oh, Kawhi.
Yes. Mr. Ha Ha Ha.
Kawhi.
Funny man. The funny guy.
He's hilarious.
What do we look at the Clippers? Do we run it back one more time? Or do we start saying, yo, you guys are not living up to the hype that you guys had 2 years ago?
Nah, definitely run it back.
You run it back.
Run it back. They got to the Western Conference Finals.
6 games.
6 games without
Kawhi?
Without Kawhi.
Do you throw that away because Kawhi?
I'm not saying
the series isn't the same if Kawhi is healthy for 6 games.
I'm not saying you throw it away, but do you start maybe? Because here's my thing. I'm looking at it from its totality. Yes, they won 6 games with Phoenix, but they struggled. They struggled against Dallas.
That was the first series, yeah.
And they struggled against Utah in the second. Struggle? Yes, they did. 7 games, both series.
Did they going back to what I said earlier, or did they play a good team?
Okay. But for what the Clippers was,
for what we want to project the Clippers to be,
fine. If you want to put projection, we have to start saying maybe they're a good team. I'm not going to take that away from them.
Okay,
but maybe they're not as dominant or as elite as we all thought they were going to be.
How do we make them more elite by getting rid of one of the best players on the team?
No.
You
got to give them a center.
You got to start looking exactly. You got to start looking at what the real problems is, right? As good as the Clippers are,
but they
just now went to 6. Maybe in the last 10 games, finally got a point guard.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Reggie Jackson's going to get paid,
and he's been on the team the whole year, and they just got a point guard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Reggie Jackson didn't play like this against Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he was getting those minutes, because he was coming off the bench, if he's getting those minutes starting and playing the way he's playing against Dallas, is it a struggle?
No.
They probably win that series. I'm gonna say maybe 6, and then that change. They win that series 4-2. We're not even questioning because we don't have that default. You know, that's all hearsay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't go back and change it or whatever like that. But I'm just saying, let's look at the growth of what the Clippers have done throughout this Western Conference Finals, a run that they've been on. And if Kawhi wants to stay, I say, all right, we keep you. We
definitely
try to
keep Kawhi.
We fortify. And then Serge Ibaka will be back.
I'm not too sold on Serge.
Serge, you just need the size and the length. Because what did you just say they needed?
They need a big man.
And Serge Ibaka is a big man who can rebound, who can still protect the rim, and he can knock down threes.
I don't know about protect the rim. He's not the same from OKC now.
He don't gotta be.
He don't gotta be a lead blocker.
He just gotta be there. You know what I'm saying?
Because Brook Lopez isn't an elite, but he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
He showed up when he needed to show up.
Right.
I have a question. If Dame is a possibility for PG, do you make that trade?
If Dame is a possibility, and you what are you doing? You're putting
Dame for PG straight up. PG go to Portland, Dame comes to Clippers.
I don't know if that works with the way Kawhi played.
So now you're saying you want PG to run beside Reggie?
No,
he wants
PG would be in Portland. He'd be running beside CJ.
No, Dame.
You meant Dame?
No, Reggie's not gonna be on the Clippers next year. I think he's gonna get paid somewhere else. To be honest with you, I don't think he's gonna be on the Clippers next year.
I don't know, man.
I think
he cried. He cried at that conference. Yeah. He loved them guys.
Because they saved his career, so now he can go get paid. Mm-hmm. That's why
I don't think that's why he was crying. I think he was crying because
he was dealing with a lot.
He didn't believe this was for him. Really, he started to not believe that basketball was something that he was good at, And this organization, this team, this coach took him to a place where he was like, no, I'm a hooper. I play basketball. Okay. I do this. I don't think he's going to be... I honestly think that a lot of basketball players... Like, I'm looking at John Collins. John Collins, people are worried about him talking about the max. And I don't think he's going to take the max. I think he wants to stay in Atlanta.
I think that's smart, and I agree with that.
Right?
On that note...
I can see Reggie doing the same thing.
I don't think so.
But if that trade is available, you have to take it because Dame and Kawhi is a little bit more potent of a 1-2 punch.
Thank you.
Right? But you got to trade Reggie. Because Reggie's playing so well, you can sign and trade him, let him get paid,
and go get some pieces.
Get a piece.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying blow it up. Don't blow up the Clippers. Run it back next year.
Do you keep Kawhi though? Because he's the one that with the injury problems.
And he's always low managing, which is so weird to me. You sitting all the time.
That just means his problem is for real. It's not going to go away. He's going to retire with a problem. And he's probably, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but he's probably not going to be able to run around with his kids in a couple years.
So, again, you run it back for one more year and maybe see what happens.
You definitely run it back.
Run it back.
Right. But if you can make that trade this season, look, hey, come on, bring that Dame time here.
They missing something light, too. They don't even need...
And that's what I'm saying.
They need something like a Dwight Howard.
I look at teams... They don't always need to make a big splash. Nope. They just need a little fine tune. Bink, right there. A little fine tune. They biggest weakness, in my opinion, they center.
Biggest.
That boy is Zubac.
That's all they got, really.
He wasn't giving
Zubac and what's it, Bo, whatever his name is, the big 7'7".
Yeah, no, that's Dallas.
That's Dallas, my bad.
It wasn't. I love that guy though.
Yeah.
He's slow as hell.
Slow as hell. Yeah, I see him playing the pre-Olympic games. He was balling on them boys. He was shutting them down. He was doing no-look passes. Look at him. Bojan.
So we'll see in all season. Hopefully the Clippers go get their center, but I wouldn't necessarily close the phone lines for PG. I would listen to some offers. I'm not saying trade them away.
You're right.
But definitely listen to offers because a little tweaking could be the difference. And maybe run it back one more time for next year. But on that note,
proud of these teams.
Let's go on a break and we'll come back. All right, Cash Crew, we are back from break. Let's go ahead and dive into a big segment of the NBA playoffs. I think a lot of people was disheartened from the injuries. A lot of big names. I don't think I've ever, during my lifetime, seen so many injuries transpire in the playoffs like this year. I mean, you had Kevin Durant. You had Anthony Davis, you had Jaylen Brown, you had Trae Young, even Joel Embiid was playing injured at some point.
Do we really consider him?
Who?
Joel Embiid, who averaged 30 points, 13 points, 3 blocks.
Still played injured, my man.
2 steals,
right.
4 assists.
Still played injured.
Was he injured really? His numbers went up from the regular season.
I mean, but a lot of the workload was still on him because his co-star, Big Ben,
that had nothing to do with injury.
Decided not to score, so you had to make up for it. But I mean, this year, we had a lot of stars go down with injury, which obviously shifted the playoffs this year.
A modicum shift.
I wouldn't say modicum. It was a big shift because if there was no injuries, I still think Brooklyn probably beats Milwaukee.
I mean, that's true. Well, for one thing, right? There's always injuries. We've seen Kyrie hurt in the playoffs a few times.
Right.
So quite a few.
There's almost more of a guarantee that he'll end up being hurt in the playoffs than there is a guarantee that he'll be healthy at this point.
I think he's doing it on purpose.
He'll always have an excuse to why he didn't win without LeBron. Right. So I guess that's fair. But AD has been battling injuries for what seems like his entire career. This is the thing that I don't want to get lost, right, in the idea of how people view these injuries for this season. A lot of the injuries were injuries that happened because people are playing basketball, not injuries that happened because people were playing too much basketball.
Mm-hmm. So, would you say there was not enough rest between last year's bubble and this year's season?
No, that's not what I would say.
No, I know that's not what you're saying. I said, would you say that could have been a cause?
I think the reason why we saw injuries the way that we saw throughout the season and in the playoffs is because some teams didn't have a rest, which is really just the Lakers and Miami. Because they were in the bubble longer.
Denver played a deep playoff run.
But they was home before October ended, so they had at least 2 more weeks of rest. But let me finish. So I think a part of that has something to do with it. I'd give it 23%. The rest to me would be the fact that these guys had maybe 2-3 day breaks of play for the entire season. They played 72 games in 4.5 months. Yeah. The regular season is 82 games in 6 months.
Right.
The condensation of the schedule was absurd. It was, you didn't give guys time to go home and take a nap and chill and do nothing.
Nope.
It was literally, hey, y'all done playing? Hop on this private.
Right.
Y'all practice or walk through or, something. Go sleep in this hotel.
Right.
Come back tomorrow, do it again, go play. And then maybe they went home. And they even had a couple of back-to-backs in the midst of that mayhem, bro.
Yeah.
More than a couple.
Like, guys did not get time to rest throughout the season. Let's look at the conference finals just now, right? The playoff format is 2-2-1-1-1, right? Mm-hmm. Usually, what they do is 2 games in one city. You get 2 days off. 2 games in another city. You get 2 days off. Then the 1-1-1 is back-to-back. These guys just played the conference finals.
No, it's not back-to-back. It's 2 days break.
No, that's what I'm saying. Between when you travel between cities, you get 2 days breaks.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So the first 2 games, there's a break. The second 2 games, then when you go back to the other city, there's another break there. But those last 3 games,
it's one
day. Yeah, it's back to back because you're going back and forth anyway. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the conference finals, we just watched them in 8 days. They played every other day.
For real.
Yeah. Every game was every other day. They had no breaks in between. Yeah. And I know they're not going to do that for the finals, but not only did guys just have that for the conference finals, but they was doing that the whole season.
Yeah.
But the finals schedule is, they're going to keep the format of, I believe,
2-2-1-1-1.
2-2-1-1-1.
Yeah.
But the breaks are not going to be as stretched out because, usually in the finals, you get that. There's a period where there's like a 3-day break.
There's a weird one. I think they have a 3-day break between the first city and then in the middle of the second city, which is weird. But then after that, everything is 1-1-1.
But they have to speed it up. Draft come in.
I get
and
all
they
that.
want to start the next season.
But
Tommy Fashion.
What we're seeing though
this
is
finals going to be a low rush.
That is resulting in stress in a lot of these. Like Trae Young's injury, that had nothing to do with him playing. It was freak. Giannis's injury, freak. Kyrie's injury, because it always happens to him, freak. Right. A lot of these guys' injuries happen because they play basketball. Right. But Jamal Murray, that's an accident that happened because his body was tired and he was saying, I got to keep pushing. Right. And his body said, you thought. You know what I'm saying? Sure. AD's he's a big man. He's dealing with a lot. He's got a lot of length, a lot of size, a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid, I think his is more so 50-50 because he's a big guy. Yeah. But on top of that, he was playing a lot.
He got to get conditioned.
And that's the crazy thing. He was in the best condition of his career at the beginning of this season. But Joel Embiid, this is what hurt Joel Embiid. He likes to fall. That guy likes to fall
a fact.
way too damn much.
For a big man, that man always on the floor.
He's always because I was a Joel Embiid fan before. I'm not as much now. I mean, he's a basketball player who's talented. I'll give him that. But I'm not a Joel Embiid fan no more because the way I watched him play against the Hawks and dive into John Collins' knees over and over again, I was sick of that. Like I was like, yo, dude. And then I'm looking at Joel Embiid like, you literally have a knee issue right now. Right. Why are you not trying to avoid other people's knees? Right. You're literally just collapsing. I've seen this man go into John Collins' knees at least 4 times. And for me, that's just way too much, especially for somebody who's got knee problems. It just didn't add up. So his problem is he likes to fall, he likes to sell things, and a byproduct of that is him developing a small meniscus tear. Because of the small meniscus tear, he couldn't do cardio work, so he ended up gaining weight, and it made life harder for him, and he got out of the healthy shape that he was in before.
And it cost you.
It's definitely.
And that didn't even cost him. Ben Simmons costed him. You know what I'm saying? Ben Simmons cost him a lot. Ben Simmons averaged, 14 points for the season? You know what he averaged for the playoffs?
6.
What? It don't make no sense. Yeah. And it affected his game entirely because all he could do was play defense. He was not trying to get the rebound because he didn't want to touch the ball and get fouled. Yeah. So his rebound numbers were down. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was utterly useless on offense. Like, gosh. But the injuries like I said, I think the injuries had more to do with scheduling than it did that break. Because a lot of teams got a lot of break in comparison to teams that were in the conference finals.
But again, it's how the break, and that's the thing people have to realize. I understand they had the break, but it's how the break happened. When your body is used to a certain regimen or certain schedule, anything that gets off of it, your body gets affected. The NBA literally said, no practice, no nothing for 4 months. What, a month and a half before the playoffs start last year? Think about that. So the elite guys, the KDs, the LeBrons, the Hardens, the ADs of the world, they're now getting their bodies cut. All right, I got about 6 weeks before the playoffs start, right? So now the workouts getting more intense. You know, the stretches.
That boy Jokic came back in shape.
Then the NBA said, all right, go on break for 4 months. Your body's like, what the hell just happened?
Right.
And then now that, after you come back from that 4-month break, you're not only rusty, you're probably out of shape. Come to the bubble, play 8 games, quote unquote, and then get ready for the playoffs.
Right. Playoff basketball.
So now it's literally you going from cold to playing at a high intense level.
Right.
So
your body's going
my
to.
argument with that is 22 teams made the bubble, right?
It doesn't matter.
No, listen to the argument.
Yes,
My argument is 22 teams made the bubble.
Correct.
6 of those teams left when the playoffs started because only 16 teams made the playoffs.
Correct.
Right? So, out of the first round, another 8 teams went home.
Okay.
Those guys there, majority of them got a 4-month break before the regular season started again.
COVID protocol. You couldn't practice with your team. You couldn't work.
Again, but that's a part of the game that we're understanding, right? Like, guys, I feel like we're trying to avoid accountability.
And here's another thing too: the season really never finished. Remember, it just stopped.
No, I know that.
So that matters too. So a lot of teams, aka like the Hawks, we never really got a chance to build upon something for next year. You see what I'm saying? Like some teams do. Like, all right, we're not gonna make the playoffs, but these next 10,
the
12
Hawks just
games,
made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, so I don't think that affected them too bad.
Well, we're not, we're a different case because, but yeah, actually, no,
Shout out Travis
I know
Schlenk.
we're actually a perfect case because look how we started this year versus the second half of the season. We started this year very slow.
That's because of coaching.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, that didn't have anything to do because actually we started the season off really well. We started off the season like 9-7.
That's not well.
That's well for a team that was
500.
2 games over 500 for a team that didn't even make the bubble, and one of those wins came against the insurmountable Brooklyn Nets.
I guess
We had a pretty good start.
I
then
mean, that's the
the
first
teams,
20 games of the season when most teams are not even mentally all the way there.
I see you just trying to make up excuses.
That's not excuses.
It is.
Most contenders are not taking the first 20 games of the season serious.
But a lot of those contenders that you would say are contenders were at least 2 games over 500.
That's fine.
Exactly. So what are we saying? They didn't take it serious, but they were still winning.
They're contenders. They're going to win some games, bro.
Right.
They're not going to stink it up. They're not going to play great because they know it's not playoff basketball yet, but they're going to win some games. Come on, they're a contender. They're expected to win at least some games.
So the bad team that was playing almost as good as the good teams, it don't make a difference?
It's 2 different things. It's 2 different.
I'm saying I'm agreeing with you that it's 2 different things. What I'm saying is I don't think it matters as much. Again, I don't think the break mattered more so than the condensed schedule. The condensed schedule.
The schedule definitely play a big factor for
because the way the body works, right? Muscles break down. They need time to heal.
There was no heal.
There's no time for them to heal.
That's a fact.
When you got to play a game on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
That's a fact.
And maybe that Sunday.
And travel.
And
travel.
That's the other biggest thing.
Right.
Like, granted, I know the NBA did a pretty good job of trying to like get teams to like, if you're playing in Brooklyn, you just stay in Brooklyn. You play them twice. Stuff like that.
And then you hit the neighboring team.
Yeah, they try to do that,
Philly.
which is okay. But guys were
exhausted. Yeah.
Guys were exhausted, and there's a difference between going home and sleeping in your bed,
right,
seeing your family. You know what I'm saying? There's a mental exhaustion that takes a part of that because you're away from your family now for a week because you gotta, you know what I'm saying? And the NBA tries to do a good job of, you got like one road trip where it's like, yo, you're gonna go play these 8 teams on the other side of the Mississippi, and then you don't got to worry about doing that for the rest of the year. They're pretty good about doing that.
Yeah.
This year, they were good about doing that this year, but
and you gotta understand that protocol. That
protocol changed a lot.
Protocol was very strict. You couldn't leave your hotel, right? You couldn't go out to dinner,
man.
So you know, that can be because you know a lot of guys.
That's part of
they
the
got
mental.
They got their favorite. You know, especially the vets. They got their special restaurants that they like to go in every city.
Lemon pepper Lou.
So now you probably got to eat hotel food, or you have to have your food delivered in, and then that food got to get checked.
Right. Yeah.
So it was a lot, but I agree. The schedule definitely played a big part.
That's that to me. That's the hugest part because anybody who works out knows you're not working out every day.
Nope.
You take 2 days a day at least.
At least a day.
But 2 days you recover. You take your weekends off. You're gonna do 4 days in the middle of the week.
Stretch,
you take the weekends off. You relax. You let them lactic acids goddamn do what they gotta do to the muscles, and you recover. You need time to recover. Guys didn't have time to recover, and they went right back out there and played 48 minutes.
This playoffs probably it was good and bad because it definitely gave us a spin on the results. Obviously, we have the Suns and the Bucks in the
Basketball
finals.
going basketball is what I learned.
But this definitely shifted the whole playoffs we never seen before,
Right.
from top to bottom.
And I think it's a good. I think it was. I'm not saying a good thing for the injuries. I think it's a good thing for the league because you had guys in positions that they weren't expected to be in, but they still had to rise to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like Lou Williams said this maybe 3 nights ago. He said, "We're basketball players too." You know what I'm saying? They said Giannis and Trey was hurt. Well, Atlanta's not expected to win. Lou said, "No, we're basketball players. Right. This is our job."
And we showed them game 4.
Exactly. And he said it before that game. Like people be like, count basketball players out, but you still have to show up.
Right.
You still have to do your job. You still have to defend, and you still have to score. So
I agree.
And a lot of these guys, I think one of the biggest lessons, and Phoenix is still on the rise. Congratulations to them again. But a lot of lessons learned from some of these guys was, man, the playoffs is long and they're hard, and you have to be physically ready for them.
Yep.
If anything, LeBron's regimen finally came to fruition. All these years, excluding this year, obviously, of not being injured. And even his injury, that wasn't his fault. Somebody fell at.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys going to have to start looking at that. If you want a long career in the NBA, you might have to
work on your body.
You got to work on your body.
It's going to cost.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost.
You got to eat right.
A lot of guys, you might have to start looking at the LeBron blueprint. Get the trainer. Get the chef.
Get the schedule.
Get the schedule. Because the way it is, that's the only way you're going to make it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only way. The game is much, well, I wouldn't say physical, but the guys are more athletic. The game is a little bit faster.
The competition is much more elevated when you get to the playoffs.
Exactly.
And you can't go into the playoffs playing regular season basketball.
Nope.
I always say, people say regular season don't matter. Regular season builds you
builds
to the playoffs, right? You create habits, you learn things on that track, and then when you get to the playoffs, it's like, all right, cool.
Right.
I don't went from the 3 court to the 1, and when the big boys play over here, so let's go. You got to build up, and these guys physically, a lot of these young guys, we saw a lot of young faces in the playoffs this year,
which was great. I think that was good for the NBA.
Great for the NBA.
We got to see a taste of what the NBA is going to look like in the next decade. It was a great teaser.
We got to see a lot of beautiful in what Luka was doing.
Trey,
Devin Booker, Mr.
Donovan
Morant.
Mitchell.
Ooh,
Buck.
The cookbook.
Cookbook, like Vlad would say.
Which is actually a good point because we're going to go right into that segment. NBA Finals. We have 2 teams that's here to make history. Milwaukee Bucks to win their first championship
since 1979, 1978?
76, I believe.
Ooh.
So
over 40, 50 years.
Yes. So I believe the last time they won it was the ABA. And the Phoenix Suns looking to get their first ever championship along with their 2 co-stars, Devin Booker and Chris Paul, looking for their first championship. Wow. Devin Booker is still on his playoff debut run right now.
And then let's not sleep on the number 1 draft pick 2018. DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah. So
Doing.
There's a lot at stake on this finals. I think it's going to be very competitive if Giannis does not come back.
I was just about to say, I hate the idea that Giannis is going to get killed if he doesn't win. Because if he wins, people are going to kill him and say, well, we expect you to do this again.
Right.
But isn't the same idea should be win next year. But if he loses, oh, he can't win, let's throw it away. Right. I hate that. That is the premise already. And shout out to Eddie. I hate those types of narratives. I think those things ruin basketball as an art. I'm on my Kyrie.
I'm weak.
I'm on my Kyrie right now, and I hate that because the game is beautiful and it's difficult, and we got to learn to appreciate the intricacies of that, and we don't because we say things like that. But yo, Giannis is gonna lose.
He is going.
Throw that out there. He's gonna lose.
I'm definitely going for the Suns.
That leg is not.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready.
That was a freak accident as well.
Yeah, he doesn't need to come back.
He doesn't.
Oh
In
my!
all honesty, he doesn't need to come back.
Fearful.
Yeah.
And they might.
They gonna force him.
They are going to force
I think
him,
we
but-
all agree they might play better. See, it's narratives are trash.
They are.
Let's say, right, and I don't think this is gonna happen, but let's say
They win without him.
they win without him.
Oh,
What are people gonna say about him now?
storyline is going to be ugly.
Oh my gosh, people are gonna trash that man, even though for the most part he carried them to where they are now. Even though people were talking about, he's missing free throws, air balls, he's trash. He averaged 30 and 12. He was giving you Joel Embiid numbers, and he was playing pretty good defense.
Tough. That's a tough one because there were some games in that Brooklyn series. If it was not for Chris Middleton,
That's not what I'm saying. Though. What I'm saying is, they still largely rode the coattails of
Absolutely,
Giannis
I
to
agree.
get to this place.
But
And
if
it's
he's not there
unfortunate.
present in the finals, that's where it matters. Because that's
And
the
see, again, that's not where it matters.
Yes,
the
it does.
whole season, from game one to whatever you end your playoff run, matters.
No. You must be present in the finals.
So if he
Pinnacle.
can't play,
Well, damn.
he can't be present.
Well, damn. I mean, play, not play, Suns in 6.
Right, exactly. Because we already know that they're likely not going to win. But God forbid they do win. Let me not
Devin
waste my
Booker's
confidence
gone
on that. But let's
for
say
them.
some miracle happens and they win. Chris Middleton is the MVP.
Oh, hell. Damn. It's not going to only be bad for Giannis. It's going to be bad for the league because what the league is trying to do is trying to interject the new king to the throne.
Right.
You know,
Oh, no. You can still do that.
No, you
It's
cannot.
hard to do
You cannot
with
do
this
that.
storyline.
LeBron
The storyline
James
does
was
not-
trying to be introduced and he got swept
Guess what?
by the Spurs.
Guess what?
Did he
Guess
still
what?
not end up becoming the
Guess
king?
what?
He was
It's a
the
different-
king before he came into the league.
It's,
though.
it's different, though.
But
When
Kobe
he got
was the king.
when he got swept by the Spurs, that was LeBron is coming. That's why Tim Duncan said.
So you don't think if Devin Booker loses, Devin Booker is coming? Because I know as a Hawks fan, you believe Trae Young is coming.
Let me tell you why we're not going to say Devin Booker's coming, because there's a lot of people that didn't predict the Suns to be where they at. Nobody put expectations on the Suns. People are putting expectations on Milwaukee and Giannis. There's a difference. Nobody was out here saying Devin Booker. Bro, Devin Booker was getting snubbed for All-Stars.
I respect that.
Giannis not getting snubbed.
Let me throw this at you real quick.
Devin
Right.
Booker's not a two-time MVP.
You said
Giannis is.
you said that Giannis or people are putting expectations on them, right?
Yes.
At the beginning of the season, who did people think was coming out the East?
A lot of people thought Brooklyn or Milwaukee or Philly. It was those three.
Oh, okay. So
Matter of fact, it was Milwaukee before they got James Harden.
I honestly want to say it was Brooklyn the whole year.
No.
It was Brooklyn was in the talks, but when James
I
Harden
watch an excessive amount of ESPN. I apologize, Mr. ESPN. But I watch an excessive amount of ESPN, and I heard Max, Steven,
Kellerman.
Goody, everybody said, I don't think nobody can beat this Brooklyn team. And when they got Holiday, they said, I know nobody, I mean not Holiday, but when they got Harden,
Yeah.
I know nobody can beat this Brooklyn team. You know what I'm saying? It was already, I wish you could pull it up, but if you look at the Vegas numbers, they were already number one in the East before they even played together. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always feel like the narratives are so, they're biased and hypocritical, because they'll say, yo, Giannis, you got to win this year to prove it. At the same time, they'll say, KD, you need to win this year and prove it. Kyrie, you need to show us you can win without Joel Embiid. You're the greatest center in the league. You need to show. Everybody can't win every year.
But here's the funny thing. What's the thing for Devin? Nobody had one.
No. I'm not
The
discussing
biggest
his
thing for
part.
Devin, he surpassed it. The biggest knock on Devin was he never made the playoffs. He said, all right, not only I'm going to make the playoffs,
He might
I'm
win
going
the
to fucking
finals. He might win the
So
finals.
the expectation that people put on him, he said, I took the roof
I
off.
almost want Devin Booker.
Almost. He's going to win MVP.
I don't know.
He's going to win Finals MVP.
You know, they
he's
just
going
gave-
to win the Finals, and he's going to Team USA to win a gold medal. This is going to be Devin Booker's best.
This might be a great year
of his career.
And niggas are going to say that he was better than Jordan.
That's crazy.
No, somebody gonna say
Somebody's going to say it.
That's crazy.
Somebody's going to say it.
Now he might. Now I'll say this: he has the best playoff debut than Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah, Jordan dropped
but
63.
not better in career.
They said Jordan was Black Jesus in his first playoff debut.
And well, shit.
Black Jay-Z.
Devin Booker in that last
Devin Booker's
series.
not out here looking like no black Jesus, bro. He's looking like a really good basketball player.
He's looking like a light skinned one. Because that last series,
he's looking like a really
that
good
4-game
basketball
sweep
player.
against Denver.
Said, I'm tired. I need to get this rest.
Yeah, he's giving them boys.
You know what? And that's fortunate. They've gotten a lot of rest.
Good rest.
Because they played well and they managed everything well.
Even with Chris Paul being hurt.
Chris Paul arm probably gonna be back.
Boy, he's going to be in the
Bro, he
slightest.
don't got no shoulder problem no more.
Right, leg straight.
He dropped 41. He good.
Oh, yeah. Chris Paul did a little wiggle. He said, well, I see why Trey do that now. I see it.
Thing good. But let's go ahead and get our picks in. Who do we have for the finals?
Man, I like being right. So, I got the Suns.
And
I got the Suns
in
5.
Who's your finals MVP?
CP3.
Wow. Jay?
All right, I got I'm not gonna call it. I got variations, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Giannis comes back,
Okay.
Suns in 5.
Because
he's
4? Hold on.
If Giannis comes back,
If Giannis comes back,
if
Suns
Giannis
in 5.
plays, Suns in 4 or 5.
Wow.
CP3, I don't know. It's a toss up between him and Book. It might be 8. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's a toss up for the MVP. If Giannis doesn't play, Suns in
4,
5 or 6. I think
so
play better.
So you saying Milwaukee gonna play better?
I think the matchup is better. I think they play better without him in the lineup. That's just me.
Giannis.
Jay Crowder's going to smack Bob
Wow.
Portis. Can't wait to see it.
Wow.
It's
So
gonna
you're
get
betting
physical.
against Giannis, actually. I see what you're saying. He's good, but at the same time, he's low key holding the team back.
It is.
Okay.
Because of his limitations.
It is.
I got you. Well, Giannis, no Giannis, brother Giannis, Kusto Giannis,
Thanasis.
all 3 brothers of the Giannis's. I got the Suns in 6. You can bring the whole country of Greece with you too.
The whole Antetokounmpo, they neighbors.
But I'm telling y'all, my boy Book, he's ready.
Cookbook.
He's coming with the chef book with all the epis
Oh my gosh.
and sell.
You feel
Because
me?
he's gonna throw a lot of salt on these boys.
I hope to see that though. I honestly, I'm conflicted when I say I think CP3 is going to win MVP. I say that because I believe they're going to look at the totality of what he does for this series, because he's going to get DeAndre Ayton going. He's going to help. He's going to close a lot as well. I think he'll end up getting the MVP because of those things.
Nah.
But I can see Devin Booker averaging
Booker number, you know,
27, 28.
Booker's gonna win MVP, especially he's the franchise player. Chris Paul's not gonna be there long. I think Chris Paul might play one more year with Suns, if that, and he's out.
He looking for a 3-year deal, $90 million.
Good luck. But Devin
I mean,
Booker,
if he helps them,
Because they owe him that.
yeah, if he
but
helps
he's
them,
also gonna be 37 next year.
I don't care. You owe him that. He
Right.
just got you a chip.
he got you a chip, your first chip ever.
Your value is gonna go up by more than 90 million.
Yeah.
You owe me.
Yeah,
see.
the Phoenix children that are 7 to 10 years old now, they're gonna witness a championship and they're gonna forever believe in Phoenix.
Right.
That's all it takes. Because I'm an Atlanta fan and I've never seen a championship, but I still forever
Book
believe
might
in it.
deliver them another one, just one more.
I mean, he might.
Might.
It might be a 6-year gap.
That's fine.
Like, Wade
Book is
did.
only 24. Bro, that's the same thing. I said, y'all got. No. But when you lose on the bench, you didn't play. You have that. Well, I wasn't there. When you was on the court and you got your behind whooped, it's different. When Booker is splashing them threes in your face, it's different. But on that note, thanks for tuning in with us on another week's episode. Be sure to tap in with us on our social media, sports_cash_. And also join us this Monday on Clubhouse. We have a great topic with you guys. We're going to be talking about round 3 of the playoffs along. If you're now on Clubhouse, slide in those